Hey guys, today I want to talk to those people who feel like my journey is taking so long. I'm never gonna get there. I don't think it's for me. Everybody else has taken off. Their things have taken off. I want to share with you a little bit of my journey going into the NHS because there are so many lessons I learned from that journey. It's unfortunate that I learned those lessons through reflection afterwards, but what I was going through, it wasn't easy at all. Remember, I've shared with you my journey where I spoke about how I worked 4 jobs and I was going around trying to figure out the sector, trying to understand the sector, trying to get as much experience as I could. And in my own head, in my own thinking, I was like, right, with all this experience, with this good, nice CV, I think I'm just going to go in. The reason why I'm emphasizing on that is because I'm getting to speak, I'm getting to see and hear from people that have had everything, all ducks in a row. They will tell you, I've got my NVQs in place, I've got experience in place, I've got everything on my side, I've got a nice, good CV. However, they seem to be stuck. Nothing seems to be moving. They see other people's testimonies. They see other people saying, new NHS job. I've got my COS. My visa is out. First start date. People posting in their uniforms and things like that. I even see that a lot because in my subscription, as you know, I do run a subscription page on Facebook where I do CV reviews, interview coaching, personal statement reviews, career progression coaching, and other conversations around career progression for migrants. If you're a carer and you're abroad, or if you're a migrant and you'll join our subscription and we can get to talk about all those things. However, what I want to talk about today is the fact that when things seems to be at a standstill, especially if we're talking about applying and getting jobs, that season can be so draining. That season can leave you doubting yourself, doubting God about your journey, doubting everything about the diaspora. However, there's something that I've learned through my own journey. I've learned to understand how God operates in my life, how opportunities work in my life. And I've grown also to understand that it's okay if your journey is taking longer. I've learned to say, what's important is the fact that we all shall arrive. Whether somebody joined the NHS last year and you joined this year, at the end of the day, we all have gone in there. We all have gotten in there. And one thing that I want to tell you is never give up. In my circumstances, I remember sending through as many applications as I've lost count, but I would send loads and loads out till I lost count of the number of rejections that I would get back. Till, as you have shared this, I don't know how many times that I had to go through bank, then from bank, that's when I got sponsorship. So basically from the time I started applying, this must have taken, I think, nearly a year just for me to get into the NHS. One of the lessons from there that I've learned and that I continue to see and reflect on is the fact that I did not give up. I kept my eyes fixed on what I wanted to achieve. I knew I wanted to get into the NHS for so many reasons. One of those reasons being to career progress, to experience the sector, to get to understand what goes on in the system, and also to get that clinical environment exposure. And I've got absolutely no regret about making that move. And I know I've shared in some other videos the fact that sometimes you have to define your own path, define what growth and progression is like for you. And that defining is not a one-size-fits-all. That definition has to be very personal, depending again on your goals going forward, depending on your goal for your career. I'll give an example to say there are some pathways on this care route, on this care pathway, that it's not everything that requires these clinical skills. If you're going to pursue things like nursing, yes, they come in handy. If you're going to pursue allied skills, allied roles, yes, you may need that clinical exposure. But for some people that want to pursue things like management, go into leadership in care, you don't necessarily need that clinical work setting or work environment. Instead, you should be actually on the path where you can do your own NVQs, you get that on-field exposure and things like that. But a lot of people miss the mark simply because for most, career progression has become a one size fits all. Career progression has become, amongst migrants, it has become as though if you don't join the NHS, you're missing out on a lot of things. You're missing out on one of the essentials. It's a nice to have experience, but it's not a must have experience. I don't know how many times I've said it to people in my subscription to say, you know what? Not everybody is destined to go into the NHS. You don't necessarily have to go into the NHS. But if you can, if you've got the time, if you've got that opportunity, grab it with both hands. But don't make it an essential. Don't make it as though if you don't go through that pathway, then you've done nothing. One of the reasons why I've decided to make this video and really emphasize on knowing your timeline and knowing that delays are normal, delays are okay, is because as migrants, we've become so competitive unnecessarily. And the fact that we're all on social media, consuming, sharing, and all that makes it even worse, makes even the comparison worse. Where, you feel if I don't go through this, I'm behind. If I don't have my NVQ, I'm behind. If I don't enroll on a master's course, I'm behind. You're not behind. We'll all catch up. We'll all get where we are destined to get. Timelines may differ. You may take longer to get where you're going. The whole idea, the whole point, the most important thing, I think, would be for you not to lose focus, for you not to give yourself pressure, but for you to give yourself grace, for you to allow yourself to grow, to allow yourself to move at your own pace, a pace that is designed by God specifically for you. I've come to realize that in as much as we all want all of these things for ourselves, for our careers, we come from very different backgrounds. We've got different responsibilities. We've got different family support. We came through different pathways. Some came through organizations that didn't give them enough hours. Some came with organizations that asked them to pay a portion of their sponsorship fees. But now that we are here, some people have forgotten that you can't compare your journey with the next person's journey because your circumstances are different. Some people were coming from nothing. I'm one person who I've shared in previous videos that I came from nothing. I came with nothing. I only came with a dream. I only came knowing that this is an opportunity. This is a breakthrough for myself. Some came and they didn't have children. They could work as much as they could. They could balance out upgrading, upscaling. They could, balance a lot of things. They had all the exposure in the world that they needed. So never compare your journey with somebody else's. Your journey is yours. Because the moment you start comparing, the moment you start with comparison, there's going to be a lot of problems. Burnout, financial stress, frustration, mental health, you name it, anxiety, you name it. And we work for different organizations, to be honest. Some work for organizations that support their learning, that support their career progression, that support their growth and everything. And others come from totally different backgrounds altogether. So you need to know and understand your circumstances. You need to know where you're coming from. And understand that your time shall come. Sometimes you see all these people posting all this. I'm one of those people. I've posted success intentionally. However, it doesn't mean I don't go through rejection. I don't go through burnout. I don't go through financial stress, visa anxiety, emotional exhaustion. I've been through all of that. And hopefully one day I'll be able to share some of those things on here with you. It is my intention to share. Whenever I speak to someone behind the scenes, I go like, I know when you come to me, you go like, Flo has got it all figured out. Flo has never struggled in a career. I've struggled. I'm human. I'm not immune. However, it's a mindset thing. It's how I intentionally do not allow anything to come in the way of my ambition, my focus, and my dreams. So even when I fall, I quickly get myself up. I seek to draw lessons rather than to mourn and discount myself. So what I can really say when it comes to career progression and getting into spaces like the NHS and other organizations that people may want to progress into. I believe in patience and grace, allowing yourself grace, being patient with your journey, not giving up, being consistent. Some people have, I was so shocked. I'll share with you one of the most outstanding testimonies that I've got out of my subscription group. There's this lady, she reached out to me sometime last year. Kudos and big shout out to her. She was asking about how to get into the NHS, and I referred her to my YouTube videos. I guided her. She kept reaching out, and I said to her, you know what? If you are failing to directly get into the NHS, why don't you go on to volunteering? Daft as that sounds to some, she joined volunteering with the NHS and volunteered for nearly 6 months, if not more. From there, she managed to get onto NHS Bank. She kept me posted. She kept me in the loop of things. I've managed to get into the NHS Bank. From there, guess what? This year, she shared with me to say, you know what, Flo, I've been offered sponsorship. And it was like nearly a year that she's been on this journey. So timelines do differ. Some people have got the grace to just like one application, straight on, go in with sponsorship. Others, just like me, you have to take the longer route. You have to take the longer way. And of course, for some, they just apply directly and everything, they tick all the boxes. For some, they require a bit of assistance. And that's where we come in. That's where we say, come join our subscription. Let's do this journey together. One of the things that I've come to realize as well is some people are even shy to approach others, to seek help, to ask questions. You lose nothing by asking. Sometimes you get help, sometimes you won't get it, but you lose nothing. Instead, sometimes you lose simply because you choose to go alone. Instead of asking for help, instead of, reaching out to people and say, I need your help. Help me here, help me out. So don't be shy. In this diaspora journey, I've reached out to people that have been in this country for a long time. What I wanted, I remember at one point I was applying for my nursing apprenticeship with the NHS. I hope to share one of those videos here. I hope to share that part of my NHS journey with you. When I was applying for a nursing apprenticeship, I had to reach out to people that have been in the country for longer, people that have been in the country 20 years plus, to say, I'm doing this application, how best should I go about it? And I got help and I got guidance, and that has actually made me better. And it's the conversations like those ones really that has opened doors in my life. And I think I shall make a separate video where I talk about why most of us are struggling, and yet there's been people who have done this journey before us. There's been people who have walked this path before us. I believe in reaching out. I believe in asking for help. I believe in humility. I believe in oneness and community. I believe in it because I've seen results come out of that. So one of the things as well that I want to share with you in this video, guys, is to say, life is not a race, especially in the diaspora. Life is never a race. It's not an exam where you all have to finish at the same time. Our timelines and destinies are so different. Run your own race. Run at your own pace. Achieve things at a pace that suits you. We're living in a world that is full of pressure, full of comparison. But when you know yourself, when you know how God operates in your life, you will know that eventually you will get there. I know you will see some people switch so easily from one job to another, go through that qualification, go through all the hopes, and you're like, when shall my turn be? It shall come. And the fact that it has taken longer doesn't mean it's going to be smaller. Sometimes the greatest stories are built over time. Some of the biggest achievements do take time. And at times, there are times when I get so jealous just by talking to people in my subscription, because, when they come with their testimonies and what God has done in their life, as far as career is concerned, you realize, like, oh my God, why is it that I never got that during my time? Why didn't I get that when I was applying? Different timelines. Sometimes you just have to stay resilient, stay patient, be strategic, and build emotional strength. Sometimes all it needs is an extra polishing, an extra, that extra month, extra year that you're staying in domiciliary is doing certain things in your life, is opening other doors, is polishing those skills, is really perfecting your craft. So it's all about how you look at things. So guys, that is all I had for you in this video. I just wanted to encourage someone, because a lot of people are reaching out to me like, Flo, I've been applying, I seem not to be getting anything. Don't let someone else's timeline make you feel like your story is failing. Keep building, keep applying, keep pushing, keep learning, keep preparing. Get on those courses, get yourself volunteering, get yourself on that bank team. Your time is coming. And sometimes it's you people that take longer that will end up appreciating the whole journey even more, that will keep learning even more. I've come across people that waited. I've come across people that took their time, and their stories are beautiful. So just know that you're not behind. Instead, you're becoming. Instead, God is taking his time with your testimony, with your journey. It's going to come. The results are going to come, and they're going to be beautiful. Your package shall come, and it shall be beautiful. Just stay focused. Just stay on the ball. Just stay looking ahead. The one thing that I would encourage you not to do is to give up on the dream. The fact that God put it on your mind, it means it's for you. The fact that you're thinking about it, the fact that you gave it a go, you tried it, means somehow there's something there for you. I believe this diaspora journey is a journey that is full of lessons. It's a journey that if you take time to really reflect on how God works and operates in your life, you draw a lot of lessons. Just before I made this video, as I conclude, I was just thinking of how I came over at 32, 2 kids later. And when I look at where that courage and inspiration was coming from, because 2 kids later, I was just like, I'm too old for this. Where do I go with children? But God decided to start all over again with me in this country. And I know sometimes there are times when I'm badly wanting something and I'm going like, why is it not materializing? But when I reflect on this journey, it has taught me to be patient. It has taught me to be strategic. It has taught me to prepare while still waiting. It has taught me to be very patient. So I'm just challenging you. I'm challenging you to stay focused. I'm challenging you to not compare. I'm challenging you to stay resilient and keep your eyes on the ball. And you will one day get there. So that's what I had for you in this video, guys. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.